Hi, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to show you how to do this little mini laminated traveler's notebook today. I had mentioned before that I'd like to show how to do it, and so now today is the day. I'm going to show you how to make this. I'm also going to show you how to do the pin loop as well as the laminated folder on the inside. Let me show you what it looks like. I know whenever I see a tutorial, I want to see what the item looks like before I commit to trying to make it. A lot of times if I'm watching a video, I'll skip to the end if the person doesn't have this little walkthrough at the beginning. Because otherwise, how do I know if I even want to make it? So I'm going to show you what this looks like. We've got a little, I have 3 notebooks inside of here, 3 little inserts or whatever, and then also a laminated folder. This is the laminated folder we're going to make together. And then I'm also, there's the pin loop we're going to make together as well. That's really quick. That's an easy, quick project. And yeah. So that's what we're going to be making today. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Okay, so first things first, I'm going to go over the supply list of the things that you need. So I'm going to be using, in fact, this whole traveler's notebook is designed for this size notebook. I will link these down below. I got these on Amazon. It's a pack of 45 for $16.99, I believe. And I really, really love these notebooks for 2 reasons. First of all is the fact that they are stitched. I do not like stapled notebooks. I feel like they don't last as long. I like the stitching in the spine. And second, because I love this little spot that has a place to put your date and then the page number. But these are super, super cute. I was making all of my own notebooks in the previous size that I had shared, but then I saw these on Amazon and I decided I would alter the way I did them. And so now I'm sharing this tutorial so that you can see an exact measurement of how I make the traveler's notebooks for this size notebook. So you can get these in other sizes. In fact, I believe these are 2.5 by 4 inches. And I think you can find other notebooks. I haven't seen this size at like Walmart or Dollar Tree or anything like that, but I think that there is a notebook in this size, and I cannot think of the name brand, but it's a very expensive name brand, and you get like a pack of 2, and it's like $6 or $7. So anyways, but this is way cheaper doing it this way, just getting these notebooks on Amazon in bulk and then just making traveler's notebooks for them. So you do need that. The other thing you're going to need is a crocodile. I love for traveler's notebooks the crocodile big bite. Let me show you. And the reason for that, using the big one, is because whenever you do your holes, you're going to need something that's going to reach to the middle of the notebook, the middle spine. So you're going to need a hole like right here in the middle for your closure. And the normal size crocodile does not do that, but this will reach very far into it, and so I will be using this. So highly recommend this. I will link this down below in the description box as well as the notebooks that I'm using. And then another thing that I'm going to be using is this little corner punch. I like this one especially because it makes I feel like it makes a good little corner round for this notebook. But anyways, so I'm going to be using that. And the other thing I'm going to use is elastic. Let me show you that. I should have grabbed all of these things up front, but anyways. So I love this colorful elastic that you can get at you used to be able to get at Hobby Lobby. Last time I checked, they no longer sell it there. And so that's really sad, but I did go to Michael's, and guess what? Michael's has this Creatology elastic, and it's like the same size. And yeah, they have all kinds of colors. I only bought 2 packs of it, but they had 10 to 15 different packs with different colors in them. And so I'm probably going to be going back there and getting more because I was super excited about it. Before, Hobby Lobby only had these 2 packs, I think, maybe a third one, I'm not sure. But these 2 color options and these, as you can see, are so many more options. I am super excited about this. I also buy some elastic on Amazon, and I will link that down below. I like the 1.2 millimeter elastic. I feel like that's the perfect size for this kind of notebook. That is what these are. These are 1.2 millimeter. Let's see. I don't see it on the back of this, but if you measure it up, they are the same size. So that's the other thing I'm going to be using is elastic cord. You don't have to use the colorful ones. You could use just black. Most of the time I do just use a solid, like a black or a white, because I don't always have like a perfect match for those. So that is that. The other thing is this, if you want to screenshot this, you can. I hope you can read my handwriting. Not everybody can read my handwriting, but anyways, so this is just my cutting guide that I wrote out for what I'm going to be doing. So your first piece is 4 1/4 by 6. And then this is where you're going to score it at 2 5/8, 3, 3 3/8, and then you laminate the T and cover. Then the mini folders, you're going to cut a 4 by 5. In fact, after you cut, no, that's not this is the wrong thing. But anyways, you're going to need another piece that measures 4 inches by 5 inches. And then you're also going to need 2 little squares. I did 2-inch squares. You could do 1 1/2, 1 3/4, but you do want to kind of keep it a little bit smaller. And then for the mini books, you're going to need 2 pieces of pattern paper for each book that measure 3 3/4 for 2 3/8. So after I cut, because I'm using a 6 by 8 pad, after I cut one piece of 4 1/4 by 6 off of one sheet, I had a sheet left that measured 3 3/4 by 6, and that was perfect to use for one of the books. So let me show you now. I'm as you can tell, I am not used to doing tutorials. I'm going to do my best and hopefully makes as much sense as possible, and so nobody's overwhelmed. What was this for? Okay, so I have my pieces cut out. The first thing you're going to cut out is, this is going to be the big piece. This is for your actual Traveler's Notebook, the outside cover. So this is 4 1/4 inches by 6 inches. So I didn't, have to cut it to 6 inches because I'm using a 6 by 8. I literally just cut it down height-wise to 4 1/4. And I'm going to go ahead and corner around the edges. You can do this after this next step, or you can do it right now. I'm just going to do it right now because I've got my corner puncher right here. Okay. And I'm going to decide which side that I want to be the front. I don't know if do I want the green or do I want the polka dots? Let's see. So I'm going to use, I have my mini scoreboard right here. I think I want the green for the cover. So I'm going to score on the cover because of the way I'm going to fold it. So I'm going to score, like I said, I've got my paper right here. I'm going to score it first at 2 5/8. So it's on my scoreboard, it's the little mark right after the 2 1/2 inch. So 2 5/8. And then I'm going to score at 3. I'm just going to score it twice. And then 3 3/8. So it's the little line right before the 1/2 inch mark. Okay. Oh, I guess that's the other tool you need is a scoreboard and a laminator. I'm going to remember the things as I go. All right. And so I'm not going to fold on that middle score line that we did on the 3-inch mark, just the outside lines. So as you can see already, it looks like our cover. So I'm going to laminate this, but I do need to add something to the cover first. All right, so that part's done. The other thing you need is for your mini folder, you're going to need a piece that measures 4 inches tall by 5 inches long. And I accidentally already folded this one. I wasn't thinking whenever I was cutting the pieces. I was just going and doing. And so anyways, I went ahead and corner round, and then I folded halfway. So you just fold it in half. You don't have to measure anything. If you wanted to, you could, but you really don't need to. You could score it at 2 1/2 if you prefer to score it first. I just folded mine over. And I really love this paper I'm working with. Okay, so this is the My Mind's Eye Wild Asparagus collection. I had mentioned in my last video that you guys, probably a lot of people had bought this whenever they decided they weren't going to sell any more paper crafting products, and they marked these all down really, really cheap. And this cardstock, it's more like a cardstock, honestly. It is very thick, and I really love how whenever I fold it, it does not crack. That is almost a miracle, because all other paper collections, when you fold them, they crack. And so I'm really happy with that. Anyways, let's keep going. Oh, the other thing you're going to need is 2 little squares that measure, I decided to go with 2 inches by 2 inches. To me, it just made the most sense whenever I'm cutting my papers down. Let me grab I don't want to pull out my giant guillotine cutter for this, so I'm going to just grab my tiny one. I've got like miniature versions of every single thing crafting wise in my collection. Miniature scoreboard, miniature guillotine cutter. I've got a miniature envelope punch board and miniature sidekick, like Big Shot. It's called a Big Shot sidekick, so it's a tiny one that I can work with whenever I don't want to use the big one. So anyways, I like that it isn't so bulky whenever I'm doing a video. All right, so let's see. I'm going to just cut. Wait, which side do I want? Okay, so this is my folder, and I'm going to decide, yes, polka dots. We're just going to go with the polka dots on the inside for the pockets. All right, I like to cut these. So I'm going to put them in here like this. And I like to measure the corners, or line the corners up with the 3/4 inch mark. But you could go as deep as you wanted to. You could even go deeper than that if you wanted a deeper pocket. All right, so I'm gonna measure it up and then just slice off a little corner. You could do this however you wanted to. You really don't have to do it exactly the way I'm doing. In fact, if you wanted to, you could just take one of the squares and just cut it in half. And if you wanted to save little squares of paper that way, you could. But I like my pockets to be shaped like this. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my corner punch and I'm just going to go opposite of where we made the cut so that I can keep that shape that I like. Okay. All right, and now we're going to glue this down. Oh, that didn't work out too good. All right, let's grab this. So I have this, I think I have this in the 12 by 12 collection too, and I was noticing that some of the images that you get in the 6 by 8 are not in the 12 by 12, which was kind of sad because I really, really, really liked some of these patterns that I was seeing as I was going through my 6 by 8 pad. All right, so there's that. That's the little pocket. We're gonna let that dry. And now the next thing I would do is take these to the laminator and laminate them, but I do need to put something on the cover of these. I want to have a little decoration. I have a little stack right here of, these are just little ephemera pieces that I picked up at Hobby Lobby in one of their little ephemera packs. And I think I'm going to go, I feel like the colors went really well with this, so I think I'm going to just pick one of these to go, do I want it in the green? I kind of like that actually. I think I am going to put it on the green one. All right. All right, so there's that. Now, you could also put little pockets inside of the front cover of your traveler's notebook if you wanted to. I'm not going to. I'm just going to leave it like that. All right, and then I also have some of the stickers from the collection. And I'm not sure yet what I'm going to be doing with this. I used up pretty much all of the good stickers, I feel like, on this already. I also have the chipboard pieces, but I'm not going to put those on there because I have learned my lesson. I tried to laminate chipboard stickers on a cover before and it broke the laminator. So I decided I won't be doing that ever again. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that. All right, so that is the folder. So now I can take these two pieces and run them through Laminator, and I will be right back. While I'm doing that, I'm also probably going to take a few of these larger pieces. I always like to include like a little bookmark, or some people call it like a dashboard or whatever, inside of my traveler's notebooks. And yeah, so I'm just going to take a few of these larger ones. I want to make sure they're not, yeah, I don't want them to like stick out too much. So I need 4, I'm making a total of 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab 5 of them. Let's see. It won't fit on a cover. Okay, so I will take these, I'm gonna use these as my little bookmarks, and then I'm gonna laminate these and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I just laminated my pieces. So I have my little card, my main piece for the cover of the traveler's notebook, and then also my little folder. So go ahead and trim these out. I don't go right up against the folder. I kind of leave a little bit of space so we can keep that lamination sealed, because if you go too close, you run the risk of it coming undone. But I will say, if you accidentally break this seal, it's no big deal. You can simply take a little lighter and just kind of put a little bit of heat on it, and it will melt your lamination. So that's no big deal if you do accidentally go through the bubble in one spot. But I just leave a little bit of space so that we don't risk doing that. Okay, so there's my folder. And I am going to show you what I do for the pockets here in just a minute. I like how this looks like it's embossed with daisies. This is a really pretty card. All right. Okay. All right, and now I can fold on those score lines again, and perfect, no issues. Okay, and then this, I'm gonna take a razor. So you can use a craft knife, a razor, whatever you have. I have this little razor blade, and I gently do it. So you don't want to cut through the paper, you just want to cut through the little tiny line of the lamination. You can kind of see it right here. It's difficult to see, but you can see it. There's a little tiny line from where I glued just these sides, and that separates a little bit. So I'm going to go over that. Just very gently cut through that lamination piece. Okay. And now you have your pocket. See? All right, let's do this side. Okay, and now that side is popped up too. Okay, so we have the lamination part done. Let's see, let's move my things out of the way. Now let's start on one of the little notebooks. Okay, so these are the pieces. I like to do 3 notebooks. You could just do 2, how many ever you feel comfortable with. I would not, if you're doing the folder, so you could do 4 notebooks if you don't do the folder. If you do the folder, I just do 3 notebooks. You could just do the folder in 2 notebooks, and you'd only have, you know, it won't be as thick, but I'm gonna do my normal 3 notebooks and then also the folder. So I cut these down, and the reason I cut them down to this size, so 3 3/4 by 2 3/8. And the reason why they're 3 3/4 is because after I cut the folder, was it the folder? No. After I cut out the cover for the tiny traveler's notebook cover, the main piece, there was a piece that was left that was 3 3/4 by 6. So I decided to utilize that 3 3/4 so I didn't have to cut down an additional piece of paper. And it does end up being, let me just go ahead and, wait, what side do I want? I think I want that side. Let me just show you. So I could have gone a little bit taller, maybe just a hair, to kind of make it look like less of a outline of it. But I'm happy with this size. I think it looks fine. So yeah, this is 3 3/4, and this piece came from after cutting out the cover, the piece that was left on the 6 by 8. So 3 3/4 by 2 3/8 inch wide, and you need 2 pieces for each notebook. I did already explain that, just wanted to kind of reiterate it. All right. I'm gonna have to glue those beads together so it doesn't do that again. All right. Okay, so there is one little notebook, and I'll show you how it looks. See, these are the same size as the folder, and that's what you want. You want them to be the same size. Okay, make sure, now I do this all the time. I don't pay attention to how I decorate the cover, and I forget to look in to see how the lines are oriented, but this is right, so I need to decorate this side. Just a reminder to check that, because I often do not. All right. I'm gonna just, so I have these chipboard stickers I'm trying to use up from the collection, and I'm just gonna grab one. Of course, the sticker part came off that, which is fine because I wasn't gonna, I always add glue to these anyways. So just add a little lemon here, and I'll probably add some lace to this as well. Lace or some pom-pom trim, I'm not sure. Let's see if there's anything else on here I want to use. Another sheet of these. No, I think that's all I'm going to use on this, okay? All right, let's keep going. So I'm going to go ahead and do all of my little notebooks and get them all decorated and covered. So yeah, I'll do that and I'll be right back. Okay, so now I do have my little journals decorated and ready to go inside of the traveler's notebook. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to do my holes and my eyelets for this traveler's notebook. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 2 holes on each side between the score lines that we made. So there's a middle score line, and I'm going to put one on this side and this side. I'm only doing 2 holes. Some people do 3. I can do everything I need to do with just the 2 holes. So that's what I'm going to do. And then also I am going to do a hole right here in the middle. So I have my crocodile. This is called the crocodile 2. So let's go ahead and switch it to the 1/8 inch eyelets, because that is what I have. I have the tiny little eyelets to go inside. The big ones might be too big for this. That's why I'm using the little ones. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and just, I'm going to move the little, so there's this little thing that helps you know where to stop it at. I'm going to move this up pretty close. In fact, as close as it will go, because I don't want my holes to be deep. I want them to be pretty close. Oh, that's not going to work. So, hold on. So the height of this is 4 1/4. Let's try putting it at, 4. See if that's where I want that. No. This thing can be a little bit confusing. I don't use this very often. Let's try 4 inches. I don't know. I kind of want it a little bit more. I'm going to put it at 4 1/8 inch. Okay, yeah, I think that's better. So I'm gonna go ahead and punch my holes. I usually do, so I have both. I have both crocodiles. I usually use the handheld one to do the ends, and just use this one for the middle, but I don't want to pull the other one out. And just in case you don't have both, I want to use something so you don't have to buy both tools or whatever if you just have this one. All right, so I am going to put a 4 1/16 actually, because I do want my whole. Now this is challenging to get it lined up perfectly in the middle, since I don't use this tool very much. Let's go ahead and just do it. All right, that worked. So I'm going to slide it over and do the other side, and just hope that I get it in the middle. That's not bad. All right, let's go ahead and do the other. Okay, so now I have holes on each end, and I'm going to go ahead and punch the hole right in the center. So since this is 4 1/4 inches, I'm going to do it at 2 1/8 inch, and that should be right in the center. And I'm going to do it right on that middle score line. Okay, so that's good. So I do like this one because it does have these measurements to help you kind of figure out. You just, for the 1/8 inch hole, you use the back one. For the setting tool, you use this one. And then the 3/16 hole, you use this far one that's closest to me. And so it is kind of nice to have those rulers guides there, and then also this thing to kind of stop it, because you don't get that with the other crocodile. I just haven't used it super, like, very much, so it is a little challenging when you're learning to use it. These seem like really small eyelets. So this came in something that was gifted to me, and so I'm not sure. I would assume they're the right size. I mean, yeah, that worked. So, all right. And 2 more. All right. Okay, so those are all set. And now we're going to string it. Let me grab my ribbon or my elastic. So I think, yes, I'm going to do the green. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to cut it yet. I'm just going to start stringing it through and kind of figure out after I string it where I want it, how much I want. So you're going to go in through the bottom first. So on the cover side, you're going to go in through one of the holes and then pull it, go up through the top hole that's right above it, and then go back in to the next hole beside it. And then go in through this, actually, nope, leave that one there. Nope, I'm right, okay. Confusing myself. So I want it to be able to hold 4 things, so I'm gonna go ahead and go through it again. All right. So go back in through this. I was right, this is a smaller eyelet than I'm used to using. Okay, I'm going to use my pokey tool to poke it through. All right. And then out through this top hole. This pokey tool thing I have has seen much better days. This thing is, I've had this for a very long time and it is all crooked at the tip. But it works perfect for this, so I don't mind. All right. It's pretty simple to string it, not too bad. All right, so now I have two ribbons on this side, and then I'm gonna tie it on this side. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut this. Should have picked straighter scissors. And then I'm going to take this and put it in the hole next to it to meet that other string. All right. So let's do this. All right, now I can tie this. All right, I like to double knot it. So there's that. All right, so there's that part. Now we just need to make the, I don't know why I threw that over there because I still need this. I just need to make the little elastic closure. And I kind of have to guess on this part. I have not figured out a perfect way to figure out the measurements of how much I need. And so I just kind of eyeball it to see what's going to fit around it. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and, if you wanted to, at this point, if you want to add beads or something to the front of this that don't want to be able to take off, like if you wanted to put some little beads here, now would be the time to string those through, and then you can tie it. All right, let's see. And this one you definitely have to double knot so it doesn't, the little knot doesn't come through the eyelet. Okay, so there we go. And then, so actually, forget what I said about the beads. If you're gonna do the beads, you need to, before you tie the knot, you need to go ahead and put the beads on, and then put your little, put your elastic through the outside cover, and then you need to tie it. You won't be able to do it after you've put the beads on like this, because I'm going to go in through the inside with this way. If I was adding beads, I would have had to gone through the opposite way and then tied on the inside, which is a little bit more difficult to do. All right, as you can see, this is too loose, so I'm going to have to see, like, this is where I would have done the knot this way. I want to pull it back out, although I might have to. I didn't need much more, just a tiny bit. So let's try that, see if that works. Okay. All right, let's try that and see how that works. Oh yeah, that's much, much better. Fits perfect. Okay, and then I can just trim that piece off. There we go. So that is the elastic for our traveler's notebook. So now I can start adding in all of my little books. Let's do, I don't have a certain order that I want these. Oh yes, I do. I want them probably like that. Okay. So I'm going to do notebook. Actually, let's go this route. So now we've got yellow, green, well, I guess the inside is green, pink. Do another yellow. And green. Okay. All right. So that worked out really good. This is what it's looking like so far. Oh, I love it. I love the creams and the green. That turned out super cute. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our little dashboard while I've got my eyelet setter right here. I'm going to go back to the 1/8 inch mark. And let's see, how far up do I want this? I'm not going to be super picky about this one. I do need to make sure I get it even on both sides. Yep, that's pretty good. Oh wait, I gotta set the eyelet. Let's do... This time I'm gonna do a little green eyelet. Okay, so now that is set. And I do have some of the seam binding from my scrap cabin. I thought this would be super cute to go with this green on this notebook. Okay, so I had a little issue with my camera, but I got it fixed. Anyways, so putting this little seam binding through. Okay, so I think that looks good. Let me just trim a little bit off the top. Okay. So now that's cute. That'll stick in just between, I like to stick it in a book, just to act as like a little book marker. Oh, look how cute that is already. And that is looking absolutely adorable. So what I need to still do is I still need to add some tags and then a pen loop. I like to add a pen loop, maybe a paper clip, and yeah, it'll be just about done. So really liking how this is turning out. I hope you like how yours is turning out if you're following along. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna find the rest of the things I need to do to finish my little notebook, and I'll be right back to show you a final flip through. Okay, so I did add my tags and a little dangle, a little clip up here at the top, as well as, oh yeah, I have this for the cover. It's just clipped on, it can be removed. Little lemon, since we do have a lemon theme going on here. And I'm going to now make a little pin loop clip. I get a lot of questions about how to make these. They're super easy to make. My favorite thing to use to make these is E6000 glue, because E6000 goes nowhere. It's a permanent glue and it works super well. It does take some time to dry, and if I'm making a ton of them at once, I will use this. But since I'm just doing one, I already have some other ones made up already, and I didn't use these just because I wasn't crazy about the colors with this, so I wanted a yellow one. And I didn't have a yellow one, so I decided to go ahead and make it. So I just put a little bit of hot glue on the clip. I take the elastic ribbon, I put it up against it, push down, kind of get it as best you can under those little clasp things that they have there. Also, hot glue is just so messy. E6000 can be messy too, but I feel like this is so much more messy than the other. And then I'm just gonna trim it. So I have this little pen I'm gonna use, and it's pretty small, so I don't need, I'm gonna trim it to about there, and hopefully that'll work. And then just add the ribbon here. And that's it. It is all set. So now I can move this out of the way. Just spread these pieces apart and then find where you want to put it in your book. I'm going to put it right here. And there we go, a perfect fit. See how easy that was? Super easy, super quick. And now my traveler's notebook is all done. I love this one. This one turned out so cute. I love the yellow and the green. the lemons. Like I said, I really enjoy this paper. I think it's fantastic. And yeah, this is what let's just do a quick flip through so you can see what it looks like here at the end. Yeah. All right, so that's it. That's the Tiny Traveler's Notebook. And like I said, I will have everything linked down below, including the notebooks, the laminator I use, the lamination sheets, the Big Shot, is it the Big Shot? No, it's called the crocodile hole punch thing that I use. Yeah, I'll try to have all of that linked down below, as well as I actually can link these pins too, I believe. I think I have the link to these as well. These little tiny pins, which are perfect size for this, as you can see. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I'll try to have more tutorials out in the future. I know I struggle with them. But anyways, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week.